The Pit of Ultimate Dark Shadows, Episode 11. Yes, this one goes up to 11. Caleb Collins Fights Back. Part 1. Lovingly dedicated to Tom Jennings, or Don Briscoe. You've been an inspiration. For this, you are truly avenged. Good evening, and welcome once again to the Pit of Ultimate Dark Shadows. I am your host, Sir Simon Milligan, deferring, if you will, any need to monologue a cryptic version of the sinister divulgences as once were announced by various cast members. Enough hot potato has been played on that account. Wait. Ouch! Wait! What? Ouch! Hot potato! Ow! Where did that come from?
Toss it to me, master! Ouch! Hot! Ah!
Well, so much for my summoning. Manservant Hecubus, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Ouch! Thank you! Ouch! It's like a red-hot coal from, ouch, the darkest underworld! Ouch! Oh, Hecubus, get rid of that, will you? And not at me!
Did someone in the audience order a hot potato? Oh, you, sir? Here, stick your fork there. Ah. Ouch!
Oh, just stab it. Oh, hey! Three-pronged fork. That's a devilish diner for you. Enjoy your meal.
And now we must update our listeners with what is happening upon the Collinwood estate and thereabouts.
Yes, while Tony Peterson and Carolyn Stoddard have won the hearts of Gull Cottage, they've decided to stay there for some R&R. Also, at the main house of Collinwood, Elizabeth Stoddard has been moved to the sofa by Roger Collins and Cousin Lily as they reacquaint with each other, while attempting to revive Mrs. Stoddard from her unexpected swoon.
Master, why did Mrs. Stoddard faint, anyway?
Obviously, because Cousin Lily was so ghoulishly elegant.
Oh, of course, master.
Meanwhile, David and Sarah are having the playtime of their life at the old house, and what adults remain are too tired to concern themselves much with the noise they might be making. However, the one adult who has not remained has finally reached home and will be confronting her father about all that Sarah explained, and more.
And now at the Evans home.
Pop? Pop? Ah, had a good evening, Maggie? Just got the new percolator fired up again. Works like a charm.
That's great. But
Oh dear, Maggie, you look terribly worried. A little sour date can do that. Have a seat.
it's not that. And I wasn't on a date. I mean,
Maggie Evans, sit down here. Now look me in the eye and tell me.
well, I don't know where to start. I just... Pa?
So, are you recalling things as well?
Recalling? What?
Maggie, you look very tired. Did you get enough sleep?
Yes, I'm sure. But so much has been happening. Pop, where did that painting go?
Oh, the one of the captain. Miss Stoddard and Mr. Peterson picked it up this morning to take it back to Schooner Bay. It's all done. Oh, well, that's good. But what I meant was, who was in it? I mean, did you know him? The captain. Oh. Yes, I think did is the operative word. Did? Pop, what has been going on?
And while Sam attempts to give young Maggie an explanation, our Lily of the San Fernando Valley and Roger Collins share the job of bringing Elizabeth Stoddard back to consciousness. Lizzie? Lizzie?
Here, try these. I'll get her a brandy while I'm at it.
Here, smelling salt, Lizzie. Come on. Come on now.
Oh, ah, oh.
It's all right, Lizzie. It's me, Lily. Oh, I was worried you might not recognize me.
Here, Liz, have this. And don't be so anxious. It is Cousin Lily. I've assessed that. She's just a bit dressed up. Oh. Oh, yes. Let me have a... All right. I might get myself to... Cousin Lily? Is that really you? Of course it's her, Liz. Give her some credit for livening up a little in such a graceful gown. Even if she did throw on a greenish-white pallor. I'm sure she's just having a bit of fun.
Oh, well, I suppose neither of you ever saw me this way. It is my most natural form.
Natural?
Why, Elizabeth, you look disapproving.
Well, I certainly am. Elizabeth Stoddard, our Cousin Lily has come all the way here at lightning speed to help you retrace your steps. I believe you ought to be grateful, even if she is a bit queer to look upon. Pause and acquire a little perspective. I'm sure she has the best intentions. If it's so difficult to digest her visually, then maybe you should just have your bit of woman's talk with your eyes shut. Oh, I am surprised, but I suppose you're right, Roger. Of course I'm right. And now, I think I'll leave you two to have your time alone. I have to wonder where my son has gone. And frankly, a walk through the woods to the old house will be fine, brisk exercise. Well, I see Roger is still good at having a bluster. I find we've got that in common. Oh, I suppose. Mind you, he has been rather chipper lately. It's turned things around.
That's good to hear. He seems less lonely than I expected, what with losing that lovely wife.
Lovely?
Yes. You know, the fiery one.
Oh my, I was reminded you could get me to laugh, although I can hardly believe I ever could when it came to Laura.
Ah, Laura, that's right. Well, I'm not sure why it's funny, but whatever works. Oh. Is this?
Ah, I see you found her picture. That's Victoria. She was my nephew David's governess for a few years. Recently she got married.
Oh. I thought she might be Carolyn minus the hair. She resembles you.
That's just it, Lily. I think she might be mine.
Oh, my. You mean Leslie's?
Now you've said it. I thought I'd never hear that name ever again.
Elizabeth, if we're going by looks solely, she resembles him a bit as well.
I want to agree with you, but you know I don't even have a picture of him.
I do. You see?
Oh, wait just a moment. Be careful with these photographs. You don't have one of me in, well, a delicate state, do you?
Elizabeth, I only brought one little bag with me. Anything else is coming by express luggage, and I didn't want to bring it all. But you two were so happy in this one. I had to bring it.
Ah, yes. I've had a little passion in my life to look back on. It's hard to believe I was that rebellious, but it was true.
And me? I was certainly in a rebellious phase of my own. I'd been doing my best to put my kitchen in proper order, and the men at home gave me grief that I was overtly contemporary. So I showed them. When I walked out that door to come get you, they didn't even recognize me. I thought I might as well alter my standards as drastically as they claimed.
Really? So that's the reason I thought I was seeing Yvonne de Carlo when we first met?
Oh, Lizzie, and didn't you strike a resemblance to someone? We hit New Brunswick like a couple of Hollywood starlets. They loaded those compliments like a pirate's hull.
Yes, I remember the compliments. But there was only one fellow I ever cared to hear them from.
Ah, that's my girl. He was very dashing, and rather comical, too.
I agree. Thank you for bringing this. It's good to see his face again.
And we join Roger Collins, freshened by his walk to the old house, only to find a different form of calamity awaiting his gaze.
Good evening, sir.
Good. What the devil is going on in there?
Yes, it can be a tad nerve-wracking at this point of playground hysteria.
David? David! Oh. Where is Cousin Barnabas?
Over here, Roger.
Barnabas Collins. What the deuce is going on around here?
Ah, Roger. Can't you tell? It's the pitter-patter of happy feet.
Pitter-patter? Sounds more like a wrecking ball. David can't be making all that noise on his own.
Oh, Wadsworth. Could you make a little suggestion to them? As you wish, sir. But you do recall in my contract that working with one child was acceptable. But children is pushing it. I understand. Just a light suggestion.
So, why, you look as pleased as I've ever seen you. How can that entire rumpus affect you so?
Ah, Roger. I have allowed the implausible for the gift of what I was hopeless to ever expect. Sarah has come home for a while and making peace.
Who? Sarah? Peace? Well, all right. They've quieted down some.
Roger, David is happy. She is happy. And I can't help but invite it all. Dream or no dream?
From what I've seen, it's as real as it gets. If this Sarah you speak of is the ghost everyone has claimed, I must say she sounds as corporeal as a child can get. They'll likely damage more than half the renovations you've had put into effect.
I don't care. I just don't care. Let them shred the wallpaper, demolish the lincrusta, and break every spring on every bed jumped upon. I just don't care. Well, why not? I don't know half of what goes on around here, but I know most of the time it makes little to no sense anyway. And here I am back to my impatience, while I've been advising everyone else to relax and enjoy themselves. What's a little noise when we have so much to celebrate? I'm eagerly awaiting my annulment to be verified anyway. Oh, that is marvelous news. I must say, you really worried us taking up with that woman. I know. It was like I was under a curse or something. Oh, Roger. Believe me, I understand. Now, let us toast to the contentment. Oh, thank you. To contentment. What is this? Water. Oh? We are toasting with glasses of water? Yes. Water. I think one spirit in this house is enough for now. Now I know something is off. Ah, well. Hot cross bun? Ah. Well, don't mind if I do. And we return to the Evans cottage, where Sam and Maggie continue their discussion while the coffee's on the perk. So, in this other life, you and I had the same relationship. Yes, convenient in a bizarre way. But you and the captain recognized each other from a more in-between time. I know. It is hard to believe. Well, it would be, I expect. But if I was going to shrug it off as a drunken merriment, I'd have to be an innocent bystander to it, and I'm not. With Sarah coming back and my flashes of insight, or déjà vu, whatever it is, I have to believe you. And the alternative. Ooh, I hate thinking about it. You could be dead, and I'd have no recourse but to pawn everything and move in as governess at Collinwood. At least now I have a choice. And you, Pop. Thank you, Maggie. I would have hated to leave you. Do the words, Mon petite mademoiselle, ring any bells? My little something. Don't start on the French just yet. My head is already spinning. I know what you mean. However, I went through an inordinate amount of recall all at once. Sounds like you're digesting it slowly. But it doesn't stick, Pop. It's like it comes, and I deny it, and I can't hold on to what I've seen. For all I know, that might be far more normal. This kind of thing seems destined to be prevented. I remember some balderdash. Well, I thought it was balderdash at the time. But you know, those hypnotizing sessions some people get, and they remember all kinds of crude details. Oh? Hypnosis. Why is it I feel like that's what put me in this trouble to begin with? Say, there's a thought. Dr. Hoffman, didn't she use hypnosis when she treated you? Maybe she had you in a trance, heard some of the stuff, and tossed it off as a total fantasy. Wow. It just gets murkier. Ah, sounds like the percolator's finished. Let's pour this out. I think I'll add a little chili pepper. Maybe that'll wake me up more. So, how much did Barnabas Collins offer to pay you for altering that portrait? $500. For real? I know he's wealthy, but a price like that still sounds desperate. That's a good down payment on a 4-door sedan. I know, and I can't accept it. Pop,
You're going to turn it away? After all you've gone through?
No, not entirely. We'll get by, and he had a few other paintings in mind anyway. But this one feels like blood money. Whether or not I've been enlightened by the experience. I'll ask him not to make the check out to me. I aim to donate it to a cause. It's one based in New York. I just have to call and ask to whom it should be filled out. Anyway, what about you? How do you feel about Barnabas Collins? That's a juggle. He's really scared me at times. And then at others I find myself amazingly satisfied. And through it all those flashes of familiarity come in to interrupt them. Sometimes they're startling, and sometimes they're wonderful, and sometimes it's subtle, like a head tilt I recognize or an inflection of his accent, both foreign and reminiscent of something. And that portrait! The man must be a reincarnation of the other. Plus, with his historical and familial compulsion to restore that house to what it was, and recognizing Sarah the way he did, he probably knows he's come back too, and just doesn't say it. People would think he was a crackpot. And he uses phrases and words that can't just be slang out of England. Not modern slang, anyway. You should have heard how he sent away the magazine wrap, though. I know I needed that laugh pretty bad. Sounded like a good one, I must say. We should look through that crate. But now that I have so many of the pieces to the puzzle, I'm more than a little worried to go over there. It's going to look like such a desolate wasteland of what was once so elegant to me now. Ah, Pop. Always the tortured artist. You could do some sketches of that place if you get too uncomfortable. Sounds like a unique theme. Half distressed and half sparklingly regal. That's the ticket. Maggie, what were they going to pay you to take up the Jane Eyre bit up at Collinwood anyway? $600 a week?
Pop, I don't believe so. Why did you come up with such a large figure?
Oh, many years ago you spoke of how Victoria was so brave to go. They couldn't pay you $100 a day to work in a spooky joint like that. I figured 600 for 5 days was more than 100 a day.
Did I say that?
I guess I would have. But let's quote ourselves correctly. Why should I hate Collinwood? It's just a nice, respectable house, filled with nice, respectable horrors. Touché. And now we take a quick look-see upon the inhabitants and guests of Gull Cottage in Schooner Bay. A little herbal tea and some hors d'oeuvres. You two seem very cozy resting on the porch.
Oh, thank you so much for letting us stay a while. The weather is so gorgeous. And this view is wonderful.
You're welcome. I've always liked it.
Oh, looks like Candy and Jonathan are keeping those kites up. Yes, it's actually been relaxing to watch them. I've been reflecting on their mischievous food fight, and how we have them to thank in a way for all this turning out so well.
Yes, but never let on. We got lucky, but no need to encourage such bad behavior. I have to admit, it is a beautiful day. I haven't seen anything like it for a dog's age. Now, that was no reflection on you, Scruffy. I'm not in any hurry to find out, but I do wonder where the captain's gone. Yes, we have been wondering when the captain would get to his errand.
Well, master, it seems that Captain Gregg was having a hard time locating the Stevens home. There seems to be a discrepancy of whether it really was so near Manhattan or actually in Westport, Connecticut.
Westport, Connecticut? That's quite a commute. How many newspapers did Mr. Stevens subscribe to in order to endure the train distance to his Manhattan office each day? Or did he spend his time clipping coupons for the A.M.P.?
Perhaps Mr. Stevens listened to a portable music device.
Yes, Hecubus. I'm sure the man lugged around a bulky reel-to-reel machine. that would certainly have passed the time. At any rate, Captain Gregg, after a couple of failed attempts, has finally arrived within the house at 1164 Morning Glory Circle.
Ah, so this is what a modern home looks like these days. It's no Gull Cottage.
Oh. Came in on your own, did you?
Ah, good afternoon.
Shh. Come this way. I can tell you're not a brush salesman, and arriving as you did, I presume you're hardly human.
Yes, madame. I hope my appearance has not alarmed you. Do tell me, why must we draw away from the stairs?
My granddaughter is having her siesta. I am watching over her.
Oh, I see. Let us adjourn closer to the fireplace. So, you are the grandmother?
Yes. As for you, I can almost place you.
And I you. Tell me, did you ever sail upon the Atlantic in, well, I dare not presume a woman's age.
More and more familiar. From the looks of you, I dare ask if it mayn't have been the 1860s.
Ah, that would be putting it some time ago, but I must admit you to be quite correct.
Oh. Well, it is nice to meet a higher element of specimen in my daughter's home.
You flatter me, madame. So, I gather you are one of the lovely witches hereabouts, and not the standard make of mortal.
Quite so. Now, tell me, wasn't there a bit of a ball upon the Hawk, perhaps about 1863?
Why, yes. Ah, those were the times. Much more ornamentation along everything.
Precisely. I've often wondered why so much less is ornate now, with so many more inventions of putting that into effect.
You do impress me, madame. Did we not have a dance upon the Hawk?
Ah, well.
Yes. The song was Theremin Waltz, and you braved an altercation of convention and asked me for a dance, did you not?
Yes, I believe I did.
And then wait a moment.
Yes?
I think I may have had to use the facilities.
Keep thinking, sir. You're getting warmer.
Oh, I remember. Now, oh, dear.
Yes. Captain Daniel Gregg. You refused me.
Well, I must have had good reason.
Good reason? To refuse a lady taking an unconventional chance? Perhaps I might turn your head about this time, Captain.
Madame, I'm sure your powers are indomitable, but I am a ghost now, and I have powers of my own.
Oh, yes? Show me. We'll see about that. You probably want to halt the waterworks, Captain.
Yes, I see. My, it's been some time since I've been so very wet.
And you still haven't apologized, Captain.
Madame, haven't you had your revenge?
Oh? Perhaps I haven't gotten started yet.
Oh, just like a woman. Never allow one on board ship. Bad luck.
Oh, the flaming impudence! Don't start with me, Daniel Gregg. I remember when you were a mere cabin boy.
And here I was looking for help.
Help? You want help from me?
I doubt I could afford it.
I'm looking for Samantha Stevens.
My daughter? Very interesting. Did you intend to cast aspersions on her as well?
No, I do not, madame. I'm here for the sake of a friend.
Well, as of right now, any friend of yours is as near an enemy of mine as you'd like to know.
But madame, I must...
Away you go, Captain Gregg, until you can learn some manners.
Lost you boy!
That didn't quite go as he'd hoped. Oh well.
I suppose he'll be fine. And for our audience, we abruptly halt this episode because your creator has come to the realization that its original inception was too darn long.
It is a long road before us. And so, part 2 of episode 11 of The Pit of Ultimate Dark Shadows shall be coming soon, if no catastrophes manage to halt its flow. We'll see you all a little later.
Spell on me, cause some kind of southern beat, and I know what it means. I'm not a superstitious man, it's calling me back after being with you. You got me feeling strange, pins and pains that I cannot explain. I can't explain. You must be using witchcraft.
All due respect to The Kids in the Hall, Clue, 1980s film, The Munsters, 1960s TV show, The Ghost and Mrs. Muir, 1960s TV show, Bewitched, 1960s TV show, and of course, Dark Shadows, 1960s TV show.
The Pit of Ultimate Dark Shadows is a Darrow War production.
I can't explain. You're the dark black cat that crosses my path. You're the mystic train that rolls up the track. It must be witchcraft for you to do someone like that. It must be witchcraft for you to do someone like that. Pins and pains that I cannot explain. You got me saying something never thought that I could say again. I can't explain. It must be using witchcraft.